So welcome everybody and welcome to TRIC's first ever virtual drinks event, and thank you so much all for coming. I'm Jane Ostler, I'm chair of TRIC, which is the Television and Radio Industries Club. For those of you that don't know, TRIC was originally founded back in 1931 to promote goodwill in the industry, and we've been doing that ever since. We're really famous for our two annual events, the TRIC Awards and the TRIC Christmas Lunch. And I just want to show everyone a quick reminder about what happened at the awards earlier this year in March at the Grosvenor House. And here are some of the highlights from the awards.
What's occurring?
So it was an amazing event, that TRIC Awards, with a rousing set by Misha Paris, and we had so many attendees and amazing award winners. Now, every year we give any surplus from our events to charities that are chosen by the president and by the chair. So thank you to our charities this year, Help for Heroes and Combat Stress, for coming along and taking part at the awards. As you can see on the screen, we've also set up a fundraising page for today. There's a donate here button on the left-hand side of your screen, so feel free to donate a few or maybe even a lot of pennies to our chosen charities for today's event. As you can imagine, this year we're not entirely sure at the moment whether we can hold our Christmas lunch event on the 8th of December yet. All the plans are in place, we're absolutely ready to go, but as with many things in life now, we await government guidance as to whether we can go ahead, but we hope and we cross our fingers that we can. So let's get going. I would like to introduce the current amazing TRIC president, Lorraine Kelly, as well as the fabulous John Barrowman, and revealing our mystery guest, the lovely Ainsely Harriott. Ta-da! Joining us today to make TRIC history at our first virtual event. Normally, we'd all be sitting outside on a lovely sunny terrace somewhere, but we're doing it virtually today, and that means we can have more people coming. So first of all, Lorraine's going to have a chat with John and Ainsely about what's been going on and what lockdown is like for them. After that, we'll have a handover of the President's Medal from Lorraine, and you'll have to see who that goes to. And after that, Ainsely is going to host a short live Q&A with questions from you, the audience. So look at the Q&A button at the bottom, start entering your questions now for Ainsely to ask Lorraine and John at any time. So before we get going, I hope you've all brought a drink with you. So let's have a quick cheers. And please take a picture of yourself. So get the camera up like this and take a selfie of you with the people in the background and post it on Twitter or Instagram. And please use the hashtag TRICCheers on all your posts. It's at the bottom of this screen. So let's raise a glass and have a big TRIC cheers to everyone here. Thanks. And now over to you, Lorraine. Thank you.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, that's lovely. You know, just looking at that video, guys, that was probably, I think, one of the last big do's, as we would call them in Scotland. Yep. That was one of the last big do's before the lockdown, wasn't it? And we had absolutely no idea. It was such a brilliant, brilliant day. It was sort of looming. All of that was looming. But it didn't, gosh, does it feel like a long time ago?
Yeah, it feels a long, long time ago. And that was the fact that it was that very next day was I got on a plane to head to the States. But yeah, it was a party atmosphere. Everybody was still kind of unsure where things were going to go. Everyone was still vibrant, thinking we're getting back to go to production. We're going to go do this. And then Miss COVID, that person came in.
Yes, I know. It's just such a crazy time. Ainsely, how have you been? Because you've still been working. You've still been managing to do projects, but it's a different world, isn't it?
Oh, totally different. And You know, it's fine. I'm very fortunate to have sort of a bit of a garden space. I can actually go out and walk, but we know for a lot of people out there, they live alone and sometimes in a confined apartment, no outdoor space, hugely frustrating, and no control, unprecedented. We don't know, you know, what the next stage is going to be. This is why it's so lovely to get together like this and reminisce about what it was like back in March, and more important, you know, keep our fingers crossed for the future.
No, absolutely. And you have to remain positive. I mean, that's the thing. John Barrowman, you are one of the most positive people I know. Your glass isn't just half empty, it's overflowing. And how have you, you know, how have you coped with all of this? How have you coped with all? I mean, I know it helps that you're in the sunshine in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, how has it been?
Well, we're very fortunate in the sense, and, you know, we're lucky we have a lot of space, and we're in Palm Springs, California, and we were here just for a month to have a vacation, and then lockdown happened, and we're stuck here because I was meant to be obviously back in the UK working, doing stuff for ITV. But also I'm looking after my mum and dad, and I'm keeping them positive because they have not been outside at all. So I go over there and I've tried to tap dance, I've tried to sing, I've tried to do silly things for them, and my mother just looks at me, and you'll know, Lorraine, my mother looks at me in a Scottish way and she says, "Stop being such a stummer." Scott and I have been okay. Yeah, Scott and I have been okay. We are actually, it's the first time in my 33 years of my career that I have not been working, and Scott's had me home for 3 months, almost 4 months straight, and actually really, really enjoyed it. So we've used the time to make it positive.
Oh, that's really good, because a lot of couples they're finding that, aren't they, Ainsley? How are you? Who are you with? And are you? Because that's one of the things. I'm being lucky I've been getting to work, but I really miss cuddles. I really miss. I really like so touchy feeling, but I'm missing. Thank you, virtual hug. But Ainsley, you must miss that. Both of you must miss that. It's strange how much we do.
Yeah, well, I'm up here with my partner Lorraine up in Chester, and our boys up here. But I also have my dog, so I've been able to go on some lovely walks, you know. And there's something about getting out. I'm quite a physical person. I'm a tactile. I like the idea of, you know, seeing people, connecting with people. And you take that away. We're not talking about our loved ones, the close ones, just people. Even when I walk into the supermarket, you know, just that, "Hi, how are you?" That's what we are. You know, we're not in show business because we hate it. It's because we love it. It's part of us. It's part of our culture, though, isn't it? And, you know, just to be out there and see people and bring a smile to them. I think all of us have that ability just to share, you know, that little moment with people and to smile back, and they reciprocate something, and we give them a little bit of energy and a little bit of zest for life. Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear you. I really do. And I honestly think the world of entertainment has never been as important, has it, John? It's never been as important as it is now.
No, and the one thing, you know, obviously there's a lot of things going on. The entertainment industry is suffering in certain ways, but the one thing that I always find amazing is every time I go online, or I go on Instagram, or I go on Twitter, friends of ours who are on social media are using the platform to entertain and keep people positive. So even in the most dire times, even in the worst times, and even in times when it's really unsure, people are using their creativity to make people happy. And the one thing, Ainsely, I'll totally agree with you in the sense that we're all tactile. We all love to hug. We're all huggers. And I find it really difficult because one way, you know, Ainsely, you've got such a fantastic, brilliant smile. One of the ways I love to give energy is just giving somebody a squeeze. And so they feel that energy coming from you. And it's really difficult now because we can't do it. We're not allowed to. But if we can do it on here virtually, pass all that energy on. That's a great way to have it. I mean, it's just bizarre, isn't it?
It does.
Is that why you're wearing my shirt, John?
Yes.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother.
Please don't ask to see what I'm wearing below.
Probably nothing. Probably absolutely nothing at all. But yeah, it's a strange old time. But you're right about the creativity. I mean, we've seen things like movies being shot on and dramas being shot on phones. You know, people being able to create music, and you know, even that they're talking about like Hamilton, the amazing musical, in fact tonight I think we can actually watch it, and movies are being put online, you know, not in the cinema, but they're being put so we can watch it on our tellies. Drive-in theatres, what a great idea, you know, all of these things. It's amazing how people can just think outside the box and be so creative.
My nephew Turner works for Will Smith, and when they're shooting stuff, I was having a conversation with him the other day, because I was saying, how do you shoot it? Are you shooting it on your phone? Are you shooting it on a camera? He said, we shoot it on everything now. We have one of every piece of, whatever the camera is running, and every angle is running, because we have to film it in every format in order for it now to get out there for everybody to see. So in a way, the industry is changing in that sense, that it's adapting, and that's the motto. We have to adapt. We have to find the ways. But yeah, I love the fact that Hamilton is going to be coming soon. I think it's actually it's either tonight or tomorrow, Lorraine, that it's being released.
Because I have to know that I interviewed your man, Lin-Manuel Miranda, in my house. I was here in my house, sitting in this very space, and he was in his house in New York. And again, this is what I'm talking about things changing and doing things in a different way. And actually, do you know, it's really strange. I don't know what it is about people being in their house, but it's so much more relaxed. It's really, it's funny, because sometimes
you know what? I've also got to say, it's become acceptable. Do you know what I mean? It's acceptable. It's not like people are frowning the fact, well, you know, that looks a bit cheap and nasty. It's perfectly acceptable. And you're so right. You feel so much more relaxed. Look at us. We're all at home. We all got the old drink going. So lovely.
One of the things I've been doing a lot of stuff with fans and things like that on online. And Mike, I want to ask you guys, what's the go-to thing, Ainsley? What's the go-to thing that you cook the most or have ordered in the most? Ainsley, you go first, then Lorraine.
I probably think I love going to the supermarket. So I'd say the thing that I cook the most, I'm more into my vegetables now than I've ever been. I think it's... I'm going there, I'm more into the seasons, because we've got the time. Do you know what I mean, John? You've got the time to look and to think about things and become a little bit more creative. So I like that. I probably eat a lot healthier. I certainly, people do complain that in the lockdown, we're putting on weight. I think I've lost a bit, actually, because I'm more conscious of what I'm eating, and I'm walking the dog every day, and it's a bit more of a routine. Instead of grabbing a quick bite here and there, I'm making sure that I have a proper meal.
Oh, you're
Lorraine?
Very good. Listen, I have put on so much weight, I can't get into anything. I am now queen of the elasticated weight. It's terrible. And I stand in front of the fridge and I look and I just go like that. I don't even taste it half the time. I'm comforting. I'm doing a lot of comforting thing, and it's lovely. It's like, it's like fish and chips and things like that, and pies, and it's lovely. But I know I really shouldn't, and I know, of course, I was going to come back from work every single day, and I was going to do a yoga class, and then I was going to write a novel, and then I was going to paint a picture, and I was going to do all of these things. And I basically sat on my bum and watched Below Deck, which is a mad, crazy reality show about people that
it's great with people in big yachts.
It's brilliant. It's the best mad thing. I watched the whole of Game of Thrones, which was brilliant. And now we're watching Below Deck. But it's mad. It's completely mad. But he feels if you're allowed. He feels if, no, it's fine. I can do this now. I'm allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Well, from the fan, the number one. That's all right. You look like you're glowing. I say that you look. I was going to say you look like the Virgin Mary, but that's a stretch.
Oh, come on. That's shit. It's coming through the window.
The number.
Well, you both look really good, and that's good to see, because I think everybody especially at the beginning, everybody had a little bit of a wobble. I think we all had a wee wobble. With days that were better than others. And I think that it doesn't matter how well-adjusted you are and how happy you are in your life and your relationship and all the rest of it. We just always had this. Sometimes it just got a little bit overwhelming.
Lorraine, that's the one thing that it was the first 2 weeks I found the most difficult. And one of the, the fact that we have, all the charity stuff that we're doing also in dealing with mental health and all that kind of stuff. The first 2 weeks I found really incredibly difficult. And I actually had to say to Scott, I've never felt this way before, and I've never felt so unsure before. And I need you to understand that I'm going to be off kilter for about a couple of days. And it lasted for about 2 weeks. So it was a period. But what I did was I spoke about it. I told him, and I just let it happen. And I said to him, if it gets to the point I can't figure it out, I said, then I need to I'll call the doctor or I'll call somebody. But fortunately, I'm able to talk to him and talk to other friends and just bring myself back down, because everybody was feeling the same. And that's what we all have to remember. It was tough at the beginning. We've all gone through it.
Yeah, and it's all right to feel like that. It's absolutely fine. Now, look, you might have noticed this. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's a gorgeous piece of jewellery. It is my official confidential chain and badge of office, actually. And the sad thing is, I've got to hand this over, and I'm quite sad because it's been lovely. I feel, when you're a president, there's something quite good about that, isn't there? So I have to hand it over. Now, I'll take it off, which is very sad. I will take it off, and with great reluctance, I have to hand it over. Now, who's it going to be to? Let me think. I think...
I love you, Lorraine. Lorraine, I love you more than life itself. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
It's going to be sent.
Is it going to be Chester or Palm Springs?
All the way to Palm Springs. Here it goes.
Hey!
Look at that magic. That was magic.
I got
We have to pick that. Congratulations, Presidente.
Thank you very much.
It's such a lovely job. It's such a lovely thing to do. And it's great, great, great fun. And we're just hoping that, it depends what happens in December. We've all just got to see what, God, you can't plan anything for one day to the next, but hopefully we will be able to see you at Christmas.
Yeah, if we are able to do a big Christmas show, I'll make the promise here that I will, if we're in a big, facility, I will sing a couple of Christmas songs and keep that going. So that'll be my, not only being the president now, sorry, Ainsely. I'll give it a sing song.
There is one thing about you, Joan. You can hold a tune. Let's be honest. You can hold a tune.
I try my best.
Now, John? What about now? Can you give us a quick ditty now?
What do you want? Let me think here. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. That's all I can do for the summertime in it. What a great song, though.
We love that. That was fantastic. You're so good. You're going to have such because one of the things that I loved about being the president was the fact that all of the work that's done for charities, my charity of choice was Help for Heroes, and they are, as you know, do such a great job, and especially now with ex-servicemen and women who have mental health issues, they really help them with that, help them readjust and support families and everything. And it's just so good to be able to give something back. I know both of you do such a lot of great work for charity, and that's a really important aspect of this. Yes, of course we go and have a great time, and it's fun, and we meet our friends, and we have such a good time. But But the big thing is really to raise as much money as we possibly can, which is.
If I can say to you, you were over the last year, you've been absolutely phenomenal, and the commitment that you've had to TRIC and the commitment that you've had to the charity work and the fundraising that they've done. And I've been not only to TRIC with you being the president, but also to some of the other military stuff where you've hosted. And I know, and I know you know this, but for everybody watching, the men and women of the military that you've helped over the last year and everything that you've done, Lorraine, it's gone above and beyond what any other kind of celebrity who has put their commitment for the mental health and the welfare and the goodwill of our men and women of the military who fight for us, keep us safe and keep us protected. So congratulations to you and well done and well done.
Can I just say that, Lorraine, I'd very much like to second that. Bravo to you, John, for bringing that up. She is a remarkable woman, and you do it constantly. The fact that you've continued to go to work throughout lockdown because you want to reach out there to people just to reassure them has been absolutely fantastic. And John, congratulations to you on becoming president. I'm sure you'll be a brilliant president. You know, over the past few years, we've had some wonderful characters, and you're following in their footsteps. And it's going to be overjoyed to see you performing this Christmas, singing some carols. Well done, both of you. Brilliant.
I really.
No, Lorraine. Can I announce the charity that I've chosen? Is that all right?
Yes.
So, the charity that I've chosen, we're going to continue to deal with. TRIC is going to continue to facilitate mental health and stuff like that. But the charity I'm choosing is ACT, AKT, and they are an LGBTQ plus charity that deals with homeless LGBTQ plus youth. Because when either somebody comes out or they're outed, 24% of homeless people are young LGBTQ plus or trans, men and women. And ACT is all over the country. They have offices in London, Manchester, Newcastle, Bristol, and hopefully they deal with everybody all over the UK. But what I'd like to see is with TRIC's involvement and what we're doing to put them on the forefront is that we then get them an office up in Scotland. And it helps all, because they do help Scottish youth because they come, and anybody who needs help, who are either in need of accommodation, they have different levels of what they do to help the individuals. And if you want more information, I would really love, rather than me going on about it, I'd love for you to visit at.org.uk. And also, if you hit my social medias, you'll get all that information. And that's who I'm going to be supporting all over this, my TRIC presidency.
Yay! Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. So needed. You know what, John, this morning, I was talking to only the second male gay man in football. He's only the second guy who's come out in football, and he lives in Singapore, and it's only because his career is ended that he feels able to speak out in this day and age. It's crazy. It's 20. The last time was poor Justin Fashionable, which was like almost 30 years ago. So, all the work that you're doing, it just baby steps. We're getting better. We're in a much better place than we were 10, 20, 30 years ago, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, he and I are mates online. We started chatting because I sent him a congratulations when he came out. And he also got back in touch with me, and he actually said to me, all the work you've done as a role model has kind of helped him. And so we've been communicating back and forth. So, yeah, he's a lovely young man, and he wants to make change and make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. And you're a pioneer. And I bet you it cost you a few jobs, but you're a blinking pioneer, and it's wonderful. Well, the sun's come back out. Sorry about that. I keep sort of manifesting.
Oh, look at
Listen,
Jane, hello.
Here's the boy.
We'll be here all night. We're three right leathers, chatting. But that was lovely. And we've got a new president, Jane.
It's fantastic, and I've been having a small glass of gin while you've been chatting away and laughing. So thank you. Can I just add my thanks as well to you, Lorraine, for being an absolutely fantastic president of TRIC, and also big, massive congratulations to John Barrowman. So I'm really looking forward to working with the next 12 months. And as John has announced his charity, I'm going to announce that mine continues this year to be Combat Stress, which I'm sure many of you have heard. Mental health charity. They do hugely vital work for those in need. I wanted to remind you that the donation button is on the left-hand side of the screen. And if you go in there, it's very easy. I did it earlier on. You can donate to our 3 charities that are listed there. And for Combat Stress, I just wanted to say £25, just £25 funds a 24-hour helpline for an hour that they have for veterans, and £66 pays for a veteran to have an online appointment with a psychologist. And I think we can all probably understand how important that would be if you're in need of that service. So just a reminder, the fundraising page is on the left there. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to switch things up a little bit. And Ainsley's going to host the Q&A now. Goodness knows what's in the Q&A. Oh yeah, look at your medal. Yeah, it's lovely, John. Well done. Yeah, look, we all want to. And Ainsley's going to have tell us some questions that the audience have started to ask. So, and I guess you'll direct those at Lorraine and John as appropriate. So, go for it, Ainsley. Thank you.
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh no. Technology. Now, this is the thing. This happens all the time on the show. Yes. Do you know what? We've been doing links to like the Falklands, Antarctica. Here we are with John. And then we did a link yesterday to West London, which I literally could probably have seen Katie Nicole. It went wrong. I was like, oh no. We did a link with the International Space Station, for goodness sake, and it was fine.
Oh, he's disappeared altogether now. Shall I stand Ainsley at the moment, and I'll ask you the first question, because they're coming in thick and fast, you see, and hopefully Ainsley will rejoin us in a second. So, sure. Lorraine, first question: what has been the highlight of your presidency of TRIC?
Oh, for goodness sake, that's really difficult. I think it has to be the events. It really does. And I have to say, your team are absolutely fantastic. I've hosted a lot of events, and I know John has as well, and sometimes it can be by the seat of your pants. This was so well organised. John, you'll love it. You'll love it. Everything is done for you. You just basically have to turn up. It's just wonderful. And all the planning and the preparation, and, everything looks beautiful. Everybody's having a great time, and it just goes like clockwork. So, yeah, the events have been absolutely incredible. I can't believe it was this time last year that we had the little summer party when Lisa gave me.
It was exactly. It popped up on my Facebook today. Is that a year ago today? Yeah.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. But I love those events, and just being able. What I love about the TRIC thing, it's very relaxed. I think because it's a lunchtime thing, and everybody feels very relaxed, so you can have a wee chat. It's nice. It's lots of time to chat with everyone, so it's great. Really good.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lorraine. And I won't have to pass it on to them because they're all listening here and now anyway, so they'll have heard from you. So that's all good. So thank you.
Our team, get ready, because I'm not as nice as her.
Yes. Yeah, watch out, guys. That's the truth. Oh, brilliant. So the next actually one for both of you. Is one for both of you.
There we are, my people.
Oh, here he is. He's back.
I don't know what happened there. That was awful.
Oh, Ainsley. There's a question on the screen. I don't know if you can see it in the team chat about binge watching. I don't know if you can see that.
Watching, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and the chat, yes, of course. Let's go down here. A little bit of a look. Now, I'm going to ask you both, how do you promote and embed diversity in a real way in TV?
Oh, do you know what? That's a really, really good question, because we've been trying to do that. I actually, without tooting my own horn about daytime, but I actually think daytime has been really good at that, to be honest. When it comes to diversity, whether it's your religion or what colour you happen to be or what your sexuality is, whatever that is. I mean, I just think it's all about, for me, it's all about a level playing field, and it's all about who's the best, who's going to bring something interesting and different to the show. And yeah, it's to give people opportunity as well. And we've always tried to do that. That's it's so very important to me, which is why what's been happening over the past month has been actually terrible tragedy. But at least it's got us talking, you know, because I think a lot of people, particularly white people, especially white people, we don't know what to say. We're worried we'll say the wrong thing. And every single black person I've talked to has said, we'll tell you if you are. Just have the conversation. You know what I mean? And we're all so I just think, chat to one another. We're all exactly the same. You know, we really are. We're all just trying to girdle through life in the best way we can. And yeah, I think it's all about, but it has to be a level playing field. You know, we have to reach down and pull people up and give them all of the opportunities. And actually, for me as well, something that I feel very passionately about is class, because sometimes people don't get the opportunities if they're not rich enough, or you know, there's all of that too. But it's just about giving everybody the opportunity, I think.
Yeah. What about you, John?
Well, for me, I agree with everything that Lorraine has just said, and also because I have found myself actually saying to friends, you know, I hope I say the right thing. And you're absolutely right. They just, you know, they turn to you and say, just say it. Because if the fact that you're conscious and that you want to say the right thing is the fact that you're willing, that if you do say incorrect things, you're going to let us tell you what is right. So, but also, you know, having worked with, and Lorraine knows this, with ITV and the stuff that we do, ITV is inclusive on a big level by, you know, and if I can use the example of what's closest to me recently with Dancing on Ice, we had the first gay same-sex partnership. And so there's all those different things, again, that we just have to and I didn't think that was going to be a big deal. And it was massive because that's what was norm to me. So what we have to do is we have to be open. We have to allow, like Lorraine said, bring people, lift people up, raise them up to be the best they can be, give people the chance, and it should not matter about your color, your sex, your gender, anything like that. It should be about who is good at what they do, and that's where we should move forward from it. But also recognizing there have been issues in the past, and being a white man, I know I've had white privilege, and I accept that, and I want to move on from that, and I want to help others to live and glorify the best things that they can do themselves.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more, guys, and thank you for that. Now, one of the things I find that sort of lifts everybody up, especially at home, obviously is cooking in my department. What about you? What one dish have you cooked in lockdown that you feel really proud of? Shall we go to you first, Laura?
I don't cook anything. Do you know, cooking for me is beans on toast. I'm not joking. I am the worst person in the world. Thank the Lord my daughter is home and my husband is here, or I would starve because I'm really bad. I can do a paella, but you would cry at how all the shortcuts that I take. You would be crying at how bad it is. But my thing is, just fill people full of lots of rioja before they have the tea, and then when I bring it to them, they don't care. That's my big lots of people, they're so sloshed, they would eat anything, and they do.
Sloshy food. I think mine is, and I'll show you this. Mine is, I love to barbecue, and I'm quite good at the barbecue. And if I can show this, there was my creation last night.
Ooh, oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah, look at that. Beautiful.
Very nice.
So it was a barbecue bacon burger with tomato and a side salad with Italian dressing and Parmesan cheese with a little bit of bacon bits over it. There was bacon on the burger, and it was smothered in Monterey Jack cheese, and it was on a brioche toasted bun.
I'm starving.
I kind of get the impression that, you know, you like to put a bit of salad on it just to say I'm being a touch healthy. But really, with all that cheese and that sauce and everything, totally over the top.
Ainsley, within 15 minutes, I couldn't finish it. I could only eat half. I had peak sweats.
Oh, that's just terrible. Oh, I love it. And do you ever think about wanting, or what one thing do you look forward to doing? I think we spoke about this before briefly, Lorraine, about wanting to sort of hug people, and same with you, John, you know, that embrace. But what one thing after lockdown, what would you really, really cherish to do?
Do you know what? I think for me, it's just little tiny things that we've taken for granted, that just being able to sit with my mum and have a cup of tea, you know, being able to see them, or just meeting pals. I mean, just meeting pals for a wee drink or some lunch or just for a chat. You know, these things that we absolutely took for granted, and I hope we don't take them for granted anymore. I hope we realise how blinking lucky we are to be able to do things. So for me, it's not great big things. It's not like a big holiday, because I don't think I'll be going away or flying or anything for a long, long time. It's just little things. Cups of tea and coffee and cake with pals.
For me, it's for the 3 months, because I've been going out and doing the grocery shopping and being in public for my mum and dad. I haven't hugged my mum and dad in 4 months.
Oh,
and that to me is just awful. I go in and I stand in it's terrible. I go in and I stand in the front door, and I sit down and I wipe the chair. Don't get them an infection if anybody around me has had the infection. So for me, it's about hugging my mum and dad and, you know, family members I haven't seen. And I'm sorry to get a bit emotional, but that's what I find really hard, really difficult. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be looking forward to, is giving my mum a big hug. And when I always used to give her a big hug, I'd grab her bum and I'd say, "Go on yourself, mother." So I can't. And give my dad a big hug and do one of those big manly pats on the back that we always do.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. And thank you for sharing that with us, you know, both of you, because these are intimate things, you know, and it does bring out the emotion in us. We all feel that. We all feel that we want to get together, even if it's just talking to someone that you regularly see in your coffee shop, saying, "Hi, how are you?" And not having that distance, you know, just being close and, you know, just having that intimacy, which is really, really important. Ah, beautiful. Now, are you doing anything about fitness, or are you looking forward to getting back into the gym, or?
Honestly, I had all these good intentions that I was going to do these amazing things. And Rosie, right now, my daughter, is doing one of them boot camp things online. And I just think, that sounds great. I'm going to do that. And of course, I haven't been. I'm really missing. That's another thing. I'm really missing my wee classes, my classes with Maxine. I really cannot wait to get back to doing that. And I know she does it online, but I do like 5 minutes, and then I think, oh, well, I'm just going to have a cup of tea. It's really terrible.
Binge TV, anything that you...
I know, I do take those...
Is there anything that either of you have watched that you kind of think you mustn't miss this? Bit of binge TV?
I started...
Yeah. Sorry, John, you tell.
Go on, no, you go first. You go first. Ladies first.
I was going to say, I watched, like I said earlier on, I watched the whole of Game of Thrones with Rosie. And the thing about Game of Thrones was, you can't get close to any of the characters or attached to them because they all die in ways.
Yes.
That's what I find really bad. And then I'm watching Below Decks. I've been watching RuPaul. Yeah, I have been watching such a lot of telly. Really binging. But it's actually quite nice. It's quite nice. I don't mind. I don't mind. What have you been watching, John?
I started watching Ozark, which is really good.
So good.
It's really good.
Episode. It's amazing.
And I've also been watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which is also very good, which is a great comedy series. So, and then we've been doing lots and lots of movies, and in particular, I went to college with Jamie Foxx, and Jamie was in my class at school, and there was Scott, what was the name of the film last night? It was called I know, I can't remember it. But anyway, we've been trying to watch movies and things to educate ourselves on the Black Lives Matter movement. So we've been doing a lot of that, and we watched one called Just Mercy, which was about African-American men who were on death row, and a young African-American lawyer who came down to basically put their cases back on trial to get them released, because all of them, most of them, were in prison and wrongly convicted by white, powerful men. So movie to watch. So we've been doing things like that to try and use this time also not to just have fun in television, but to educate ourselves with things that are going on, you know, in the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And also Scott just said, and also the reason is to watch Michael B. Jordan because he's absolutely gorgeous.
especially when he was in his prime. I think you're absolutely spot on there. I've watched, in line with what you were saying, John, I watched Green Book, which I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And that really, you know, it was Oscar nominated, but gives you a real true flavour into what life was like. And even though we know it continues today, it is moving forward. And if we all continue to do the right thing, you know, keep moving in the right direction. And, you know, it's wonderful that we can all get together like this. TRIC has been very responsible for that over the years, you know, encouraging people from all walks of life to come in and join the group, and I think that's very, very positive. Guys, on a slightly lighter note, can you please share with me your favourite summer cocktails before we hand back to Jane?
Oh, John, what's yours?
Well, I'm very boring in that aspect. There's two that I like. One is very crisp and clean. It's a vodka soda with a splash of lime, very clean, nothing like, you know, better than that. But if I'm wanting to be fancy, I go right for a Cosmopolitan.
Ooh,
yes.
Lovely.
Yes. I'm with you on the Cosmos. And I do like a Pimm's. But I'm always making them too strong. But I do like a wee Pimm's.
Well, for me, my favourite is a rum punch. And when I see you next time, guys, I'm going to give you a Caribbean rum punch. And I might even give you a Caribbean Robin.
I can't wait for you to rum punch me.
Love it.
Brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And yeah, we look forward to the cocktail, Ainsley. That'll be amazing. All I can say is we're gonna wrap up now. But thank you so much to all of you. Fantastic and interesting conversations we've been having now. Very entertaining, also very moving and very interesting too. So thank you to Lorraine for everything you've done for us. Thank you to John for being our new president as well, and thank you so much to Ainsley for being here and being so brilliant. And thank you to our audience as well for joining us today. I wanted to remind you that if you look at the hashtag TricCheers on Instagram and Twitter, there are some really entertaining comments and pictures up there and quotes and funny things that you've been saying as well. So have a look at that. And if you do want to donate to the charities, you can see where it is on the left-hand side. They're all very deserving causes. But all I was going to say was a final cheers to everyone. I want to make sure you all stay well and you stay safe. And I really, really hope that we can see you soon, hopefully at Christmas. Cheers to everyone.
Cheers, God bless.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.